Good evening. Welcome. My name is Phil Hill, and I want to welcome you on behalf of First United Methodist Church to this exciting beginning of the Christmas season and the holidays. And we're honored that you're here. Before we begin our concert tonight, just want to give you a couple, A couple of things to tell you. Restrooms, if you need them, are just through the double doors there to your left. Women's are right to the left, men's around the corner. I want to remind you, everybody got a cell phone? Put it to silence right now if you will do that. We appreciate that. And while I got you, I want to invite you to a very special Yuletide festival here at First United Methodist Church on December 12th and 13th at 6:30. We have some great music, drama, and dessert, so you are invited to that. Before you leave tonight, you're invited to participate in the donations for the Capital City Community Band, and the box is right out as you exit the room there, and I wanted to let you know about that. Now, friends, without further ado, it's my honor to introduce the Capital City Community Band under the direction of Mr. Tom Bronner. Welcome them, will you? The first selection that you just heard was the march, Americans We. It was written by Cincinnati native Henry Fillmore in 1929. It was played at every concert he conducted at the Cincinnati Zoo's Pure Food and Health Show because he realized it was one of his best marches. At some concerts, he called it the Cincinnati Zoo. At others, he called it Pure Food and Health, until finally he settled on the title Americans We before publishing it March 11th, 1929. The dedication was to all of us. The Capital City Community Band tonight opens up its 30th year with Americans We, not only because it's a crowd favorite, but because it is dedicated to all of us, this great fine community in which we support. We're going to spend the remainder of tonight's concert playing some of our favorites while highlighting some of the great music that we played over the past 3 decades. Our next song features one of the band's favorite composers, James Curnow, in a showcase for both band and trumpet soloist. Over the years, the Capital City Community Band has featured many great guest soloists, and tonight it shines the spotlight on one of its own, trumpeter David Goins. David has played in the band since high school and is a perfect example of the band's mission to provide a musical outlet for its community members throughout their entire adult life. So please help me welcome David Goins as he plays James Curnow's concert piece. The world is waiting for the sunrise. It's a famous ballad that's been recorded over 100 times by performers ranging from Duke Ellington, Jack Teagarden, and even the Beatles. And one of the most famous band arrangements comes from the very prolific march composer Harry Alford, who wrote his version for the University of Illinois Band for one of their first halftime performances at a football game in 1919. This march has become one of Tom Bronner's favorite marches to conduct and features one of the band's finest players, euphonium soloist Larry Stern, on a soft shoe routine in brass heels. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is waiting for the sunrise. To have a great band, one must have great clarinetists, and the Capital City Community Band is just one of those bands. Likewise, one cannot have a great concert without including a song by the bandmaster Percy Granger. For 30 years, the Capital City Community Band has been fortunate to have great homegrown players, but none more skilled and talented than the principal clarinetist, Peggy Gould, who has been with the band since the very first concert. So join Peggy and the rest of her great clarinetist comrades as they reel you in with the fast fingers on the Percy Granger classic, Molly on the Shore. At the crux of the success of the Capital City Community Band has been its ability to create great music at the highest level, and more specifically to bring that music, to bring to life music that was originally written for the orchestra in the form of the wind band. This consistent level of performance has allowed the band to be a featured ensemble at the Midwest International Band and Orchestra Clinic in Chicago, and also as repeat performers at the Kentucky Music Educators Association Conference in Louisville. Every community band concert has had an orchestral transcription on the program, and tonight's version features one of Mr. Bronner's favorites, the Roman Carnival Overture by Hector Berlioz. Berlioz wrote Roman Carnival in 1843 as a standalone piece to be performed in a concert of his own works. He fashioned it out of the music from Benvenuto Cellini, and it later served as a prelude for the second act for productions of that work. The opera's second act is, in fact, set in a carnival in Rome. The overture's introductory flourish is a quotation of the Saltarello, a wild dance that would soon be enacted on stage. And then we hear music from the love duet, which had been sung in the first act by Cellini and Teresa, the girl that he is courting. And here it is transformed into an extended, warm-hearted solo for English horn, played by our own great English horn soloist, Alison Whitecamp. After a passage of surging scales, Berlioz quotes some choral material from the opera, and then the Saltarello returns to mingle with the love aria as the overture progresses. In the end, it's the spirit of the dance that wins out, and the overture concludes in a flurry of energy. So buckle your seatbelts, and the orchestra, because the orchestra has arrived. Roman Carnival Overture. Just like tonight's concert, the Capital City Community Band has kicked off every Christmas shopping season by participating, well, at least from a block or two, in the Candlelight Tour hosted by the downtown Frankfurt businesses. And to honor this event and to do our part, the band will now play a medley of Christmas tunes meant to entertain you while you are driven in a horse-drawn sleigh. First, Mozart's Sleigh Ride, arranged by Frankfurt native and director of bands for Florida State University, Pat Dunnigan. And secondly, Leroy Anderson's classic by the same name, featuring our own resident neighing horse, Dan Hughes. So bundle up as we take you on a short ride, Sleigh Ride. We close tonight's concert with the band's signature march, the Capital City March, written for Tom Bronner by famed march composer Cecil Carrick. But before we play that, we have a very special presentation. I want to invite the Mayor of Frankfort, the Honorable Bill May, to come forward. He has a presentation to make tonight. There you go.
Don't have it, but you
got it.
There we go. Thank you. Well, first let me say how much I enjoy living in a community that supports the arts. And when I look around at this ensemble, I hate to turn back on the audience, but also to you all, fellow musicians. Wonderful. I was looking down the list of people who play in this ensemble. Fantastic. I mean, these are all professional quality musicians, and many of them are professional, and they play and get paid to do it, and some of them are formerly professionals that are here giving their time and their talents to our community. I wish I could have been here for the whole show, but I had to do the other duties downtown to light the Christmas tree for all the Christmas elves and young people. But what a testament to all of you to be able to play in an ensemble of this quality, and to Tom Bronner, who's had a distinguished career of bringing talent out of people for many, many years, and young people who have grown on. And I see folks that I went through college with, like Dr. Griffin back here on percussion, and all these good folks that I've played in some bands with, and I guess Mr. Chase was the most recent person that I've got to meet, but it's always good to live in a community where so many people are doing this, and David, for all the great work that you've done with the local bands and this church, the First United Methodist Church. The ensembles that you all have are absolutely world-class. But I'll go ahead and read this resolution as to what you want to hear, but basically, I guess I want to read the whole thing? Okay, this might take a while, but it's Resolution 19, 2015 series, and it's a resolution naming the Capital City March as the official march of the City of Frankfort. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of the City of Frankfort, Kentucky does hereby find as follows. Whereas the Capital City Community Band was formed to provide the Frankfort community with an outlet to continue their music education throughout their lives. Whereas the Capital City Community Band, located in Frankfort, Kentucky, has provided the highest quality of wind band music to the citizens of Frankfort and also our state and international community. Whereas the Capital City Community Band has been recognized for the outstanding quality of play through its invitations to perform at the Midwest International Band and Orchestra Conference and the Kentucky Music Educators Association Convention multiple times over the past 30 years. Whereas Thomas W. Bronner III has served as the conductor of the Capital City Community Band and has brought the highest musical acclaim to the Capital City Community Band and to the City of Frankfort. Whereas the Capital City March was written by Cecil Carrick for Thomas W. Bronner III, and this march has become a staple in the band music repertoire, having been played by wind bands across the world. Whereas the Capital City March has been recognized as the official march of the Capital City Community Band over the band's 30 years of existence, now therefore be it hereby resolved that the Capital City March is named the official march of the City of Frankfort, adopted this 26th day of October 2015, signed by Mayor William May. Thank you all.
Say something, Tom.
Now we're going to play it.